and this is Space Pod.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
All right, welcome to another episode of our Space Pod, an intergalactic artist experience.
That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
No, I mean,
okay, fine.
we're getting closer, and I feel like every time I try and do it on the spot, it's better and better.
Yeah.
So we'll just try one more thing. Okay. What's up? I'm Pseudo.
I'm Angelica.
Get on over here to Space Pod.
That was like a reckless.
That was
one.
good. I feel like I got the babushka on. That's kind of where it came from.
Right.
The horse is kind of. But yeah, well, get on over here to Space Pod.
It's cute.
Yeah, I think we'll keep that one. All right,
That's
sweet.
fine.
Well, you can introduce.
All right, so our guest today is a multi-talented, beautiful friend of ours, Madison Jewelinski. Woo! Oh wait, don't sit down yet. We need to do a fit check.
Yes, bitch.
Because this chick, girl, woman is always stylish. So you can talk about what you're wearing today.
I mean, nothing really.
Yeah.
This is Cotton Citizen. It's a great brand. Love the quality. I actually had to cut this dress this morning because it was like an awkward length and I'm really short. So, you know,
I feel you.
got some fresh Air Force
Yes.
1s, 2s.
The purple socks.
The rest
everything.
is history.
The rest
The rest
is
is
history.
Her story.
Well, we're gonna have to pick up the mic.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So why don't you go ahead and just tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, just to start, and get everyone introduced to you.
Hey, I am Madison Jewelinski. Some might even call me Macy Jewelinski.
She doesn't like that.
No, not a comedian. I'm a designer. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a technical designer. I'm a creator. I just like to create. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Jinx, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is awesome. What have you been up to during quarantine, during the last 6 months?
Well, I've been very blessed to have a job during quarantine. I work for a brand called Skid Row Fashion Week. Our mission is kind of to eradicate homelessness in the world, but right now our main focus is LA, Skid Row. I've been working for that brand. I've been working side by side with this guy, David Sebastian, who does all the creative for the brand. Been learning a lot from him. Work at Skid Row Manufacturing. I do brand consulting and graphic design for that company. So, yeah, I've just been busy.
Ooh.
I've been busy just helping other people bring their visions to life, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like a main thing, I think. Oh, thanks. This is great. Be my stan. Like, it's just so incredible that on the long, like, it's one thing to be creating in this whole city and, you know, have so much to do with that, but I feel like your mission always is how you can help other people bring their visions to life.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been very, it's been very rewarding in a lot of ways, and it feels good to help other people, but I definitely have been feeling the effects of not doing that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I do it for other people, it's great, but the more it makes me realize how badly I want to have a brand and, like, have my own vision and push that out into the world, which is cool.
Which is great. Like, it's, you know, showing you that you want to be your own artist and have your stuff that you want to push out. And one thing you always talk about is, like, being patient, which I love. Like, there's going to be a time when this feels right. So listening to your gut, knowing, like, okay, I'm helping other people right now, but I know I have this fire in me that is going to be building my own brand and do that, you know?
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about your latest fashion creations that came out in March?
Well, I went to a short-term design school. It was about maybe 6 months. I studied women's design and put together like a 9-piece collection. It was crazy because I was learning how to make patterns and sew and do everything while I was putting together a collection. So it all moved really quickly. But literally like a week before the fashion show that I was working towards, quarantine happened and they canceled it, which was so disappointing. Yeah, I found out, I was like working at the school one day on my own time, and Joe, who owns the school, came in and told me, and I literally just like left and then started crying because it was just so much it was just so much work and like energy and hours put into something, and then just to think that like it was gone. It was sad.
Yeah.
But you guys shot it for me, and I still got to do something with it.
It
Which
was
is
the
cool.
most insane. Like, we'll probably be able to post some random pictures during this podcast, but it was incredible. And I feel like nobody goes through the school time like that in such a short period of time. And like, you came out realizing all of your skills.
Thanks.
You know, because you went in that and learned, like you said, learned how to sew, learned how to tech pack, learned everything, and then built a collection at the same time. So
Yeah.
like, to me, that was like you realizing all of your skills in like 4 months.
Yeah, it was
which
really
is so fun.
It was crazy. I felt it was like, I don't know how I felt internally during that time. I would take the metro downtown every day, and I would like have my headphones in, and I would walk from the metro to my school. And I just remember feeling so high all the time. Like, I felt so excited, and I don't know, I've always been really excited about anything I've done creatively, but this was like a whole different like level of that I was experiencing.
Stepping into like a
Yeah.
whole new truth, a whole new part
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, I feel like that's like gonna be I mean, it is a crazy story now, but I feel like when like you're like a household name and known for your brand, which is gonna happen, keep
So.
watching. It will. That would be such a fucking fire story. Like, to be like my first fashion show that I was supposed to do. I worked so hard, didn't even get to do it, but like it
Yeah.
easily could have been a big like beginning to a downfall, but you allowed it to like push you into the next part of the journey, which is really cool.
Yeah. Crazy. It's such a trip. Just so crazy. Everything about fashion has just like, I've worked very hard, but every opportunity I've had within fashion has just like found its way to me, which has
That's
been
when
really
you know
cool.
you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what we found with Spaced. And like, you know, we all did the dance industry, and it was always like pushing against heads to make stuff happen. And then once we stepped into a career that was right for us, things just started to flow, and you know, opportunities come when you can't even imagine the opportunities. So that's incredible.
Yeah. I
it's
love it so
exciting.
much. It's so exciting.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's cool because Maddie's one of our like, we have like a really close knit group of friends out here, and I feel like we're all kind of in this cool space where we all came with an idea of what our dream was and what our passion was and like what we wanted to do, and we were all hard workers and go-getters, and then we just realized that like Jill said, it was kind of just like we were hitting a ceiling and stuff felt like weird. And like, I know dance community is amazing, but it just like, when you have a multifaceted mind, like, and you're passionate about multiple things, dance doesn't really allow for that to happen, because you have to be so committed, and you can be so driven in it and work so hard and make it so many connections, but then at some point you just like hit this ceiling. And it's cool, we found you and Macy and Yanush and a lot of other people who just were like, all right, well, I want a lot more out of life, let's fucking take it by the horns, because already we make that first sacrifice and step and risk of leaving our hometowns and pursuing an art, and then in the middle of it being like, okay, fucking never mind, let's do something totally different. And I think that alone is just like really brave and exciting, and I feel like we're super lucky to have other people who took that step and are killing
Found
it.
a little tribe of people. Yeah, it's so crazy with the whole dance thing. Well, I don't know, there's so many people that do pursue dance and it works for them, but I'm sure you guys can relate just to the fact that like, I just remember dancing, my dream was to be a tour dancer, and it got to a point where I was like, this is so great, this is cool, but like, I'm a creative, I'm an artist, and anything I'm doing is furthering someone else's career. Like, it's not falling directly onto me. Not that I like need that like credit or I don't know, attention, but I don't know, it just really bothered me that like I had so much to give, but it was coming from someone else's voice, so to speak.
Exactly.
You know,
and you had to you know, listen to a choreographer, and even if you gave ideas or something, you know, it's still not technically from you. So
And then you're like a fluff. Like,
a fluff.
I mean, there's amazing dancers, and they can be used correctly where they become the forefront, but a lot of the time you're just like a background,
you get lost in the
backdrop
shadow.
for the artist.
Yeah. Which is beautiful, and that's some people's passions in career and full truths. you know, but you find out quick when you're like, okay, I want more from that. That's like a stepping stone for us. And you did the tour stuff. You did it right away, didn't you?
Kind of.
Didn't you go on tour?
Yeah.
She's also very humble, so we might have to pry some ego out.
Good times. Good times.
I know, you know, because I know you so well, I know you're very open-minded, spiritual. Like, how do you think your wellness and your, like, being connected to your spirit has helped driven your career?
I mean, it's everything. I don't know. Where do I even start with that? I wouldn't have any of that without my mental wellness and my connection to spirit or higher power, or whatever you would call it. It's what I refer to for any guidance, or I don't know, just going inward. Because this is all so much, and so much happens all the time. So, I don't know, adopting meditation and breathing and, I don't know, journaling and reading and all those things, it just sets the foundation for everything I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
I actually haven't. I mean, I've probably heard it in different ways, but it is true. Like, life, especially industry in LA, but life in general is so stimulating. There's so much happening. There's so many ways that you can be influenced and manipulated, and like, you're constantly having opinions of who you should be, or like, you know, so like, you could go fucking crazy, and people do, and we do, and like, the only way to like level that out and make sure you're good is to like turn off everything that's in front of you that's going on all the fucking time, and like check in and be like, yo, you good? Like, everything okay in there? Like,
that's when the best inspiration comes too, because you're quieting everything else to listen to like what is coming up and what's creatively fueling you, and like your day yesterday, how things just started to flow. You know, you decided to like, you could talk about that if you want.
I mean, well, I don't know. I've just been going through, I feel like I said this a couple minutes ago before this started, but we have so many layers, and I've been taking a lot of time lately to like look at the way I operate as like a human, and how I like react to things, how I work, like how I expect things to be, type of thing. And I just have been realizing that like, we are souls first and foremost, but my soul and my physical body and my brain are like two separate things. And so there'll be moments where I'm like, for instance, like my OCD, like we've talked about this before. I've been diving into that a lot. I'm gonna be like exposing myself a lot right now. But I kind of self-diagnosed myself. I talked to someone about this the other day, but I have something called Perfectionism Ocd. So it's like, if it's not done perfectly, if it's not this, if it's not gonna be like this, then like might not do it at all. So I don't know. I've been having all these moments lately where, I'm losing my train of thought, hold on. I've been having all these moments lately where I'll be doing something, and soul Maddie is like, has this internal dialogue that's going on, and then physical Maddie is like doing something that soul Maddie's like, why are you doing this? This isn't you. It doesn't have to be like this. So I don't know. I've just been like, there's like two versions of me right now that I feel like I'm like trying to intertwine, or not intertwine, I'm just trying to like introduce one to the other. I don't know, but I don't even know if that makes sense.
No, that makes so much sense, and I think everybody can absolutely relate to that. Because that's a main thing. That's like, we have like 20,000 layers of ourselves, you know. So you're unraveling those two layers and like how they can intermingle, because you don't want to battle those. Those are like parts of you that you get to intertwine and intermingle, and both of those will help each other. You know, because if it was purely soul Maddie, that's when you get too fluffy in the air and like don't get shit done and are free and da-da-da, which is beautiful, but that's like the airy, and then the grounding to me, from what you're saying, is the side of you that needs to get shit done, needs to be perfectionist, needs to be, you know, and those two I think work beautifully together, because without one or the other you wouldn't be Maddie.
To balance.
That's literally, I would describe you as that, like the soulful, and then the perfectionist, get shit done. But that's an artist. Like without perfectionists, I feel like that's a big part of the fashion industry too.
I don't know, but I definitely think, just to put it all out there, I do have like an unhealthy amount of perfectionism that lives inside of me, which is something I'm fully aware of.
And you're aware, so that's the first thing.
But I'm really, for the first time in my life, like extremely aware of it, and see that it's actually like affecting my ability to do things. So I'm just working on like protecting my potential, so to speak, I guess.
I feel like, and this is something Joe and I go through similarly, where we have such an extravagant idea, and you can be like, it has to be perfect. I'm not going to release this to the world until it is perfect, but it's never going to be perfect. It won't ever be what it is in your head. And if anything, you're just going to keep prolonging and no one will ever see it. And then by the time it's there, you're not going to want to do it anymore because you're going to be evolved and you're going to have a better idea. So I think it's like coming to a point with yourself where you trust yourself and you go, all right, I know my resources, I know my talent, I know how much time I have. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do the best I can and it's going to be great. And then I'm going to do something better after that. And I'm going to keep doing that instead of being like this one idea. I've had it in my head and I still have that one thing. I have a short film that I've wanted to do for 3 years and I'm like, no, but it has to be like, and in my head, the way I'm seeing it is like, I have a fucking Warner Brothers $1 million budget for this. And it's like, no, like, but the ideas I have good resources. Obviously now I should just do it or else someone else is going to do it like that. People's ideas go.
That's how,
that shit happens all the time. So yeah, I think it's getting to a point when you just, again, trust yourself where you're like, I make cool shit. Like I'm like talented. I work really fucking hard. So when I do this, it might not be the magical thing in my head, or it could be way beyond what I thought I could do. You know,
But
you just don't have any
regardless,
idea.
it's a step in that direction, no matter what. And even if you're not like sharing it with the world, like you putting in that effort too of putting something out there or just doing it is giving those signs to the universe as well that like this is what I want to do. Right. You know.
Yeah. I actually saw this quote. Like, I was reading these articles a couple days ago, and I came across this journalist that wrote this quote. It was about perfectionism OCD, but, yo, you guys will like it. Or what did he say? He said, nothing will ever be perfect, but if you don't do it, it won't be anything at all.
Yeah,
it was something along those lines. But I read that, and I was like, oh, my God. And that's why even yesterday, I, like, woke up. I knew I wanted to get into the zone of, like, putting some type of collection together, and I just started, like, finding inspiration, and I was just going and going and going. I didn't look for the perfect thing. If I saw it and I liked it, I was like, okay, pulling that, gonna remember that. And it put me into this like flow state that I don't normally, I'm not like, I can't achieve so quickly, you know, on a normal day. So I don't know, just letting go of that like need for like perfection. Yeah,
because
that's been like the topic.
Like for me, like finding inspiration and diving into that and getting into that flow is like my favorite part. I try to do that like once a day of like going, whether it's like Pinterest or I have like certain places specifically on Instagram so I don't get lost, you know, or websites or different whatever, and like I try to get in that like once a day. And it's so funny, like if I get out of it for a second, like even if I go to the bathroom, like because you get so deep in it, and then I'm like, and then once I'm out, it's like you're out again. Like, so, but that fuels me every day. 100%. And no matter, like yesterday too, like no matter if I get everything done that, because I have like all these lists, like today I'm trying to get all this stuff done. But like sometimes I have to throw that out and just be like, I'm going to start here, I'm going to get my inspiration, and like whatever I get done is what I get done. Like sometimes I just have to throw stuff out the window. Because if my day doesn't go as I planned it, I'm like, oh no, like I didn't, like Jordan knows, I'll be like, I didn't do this and this and this. And he's
but
like,
if you're
that's
moving,
okay.
if you're doing stuff all day and you're moving forward, like you don't have to measure the success of your day by that list.
Because you can't control your creativity either. Like you can, but like for me, I can't. So, you know, like I can't control it. So I'm like, hey, as long as I don't know if this all makes sense, but.
No, it does. Inspiration is a fucking finicky beast. Like, you can't. It is, dude.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Because you'll just get like inspired and want to create something, and you're like, why am I at Ralph's right now? And then by the time you get home, you're like, I don't have it anymore. Why is Ralph's when I
start to know your triggers? Like I know how to like trigger it now, which is so cool. I'm like, cool. Like, but then sometimes it does happen really randomly, and I'm like,
what
fuck.
helps for me is being outside while searching. Like, or yesterday, I went outside during sunset, and I went on this app and was just looking at all these different fashion shows. But I was doing it outside while sitting on a chair watching the sunset, and I don't know, that like whole environment that was happening. Yeah, it put me. Yeah, it put me in like, I don't know, a time warp.
Yeah,
it was cool.
I love it. I had this other thought before I forget. We talking about like wanting things to be perfect before you put them out, and like being really hard on yourself. Think about people like your boss, like David. He just does shit. like, I feel like as soon as it hits his brain, he is messaging all his people. He's like, okay, what are we, like, you guys are making a fucking movie now? And I feel like those people always inspire me, like him and the Tyler, the creators, and these other people who are just like, you have no buffer from idea to actually putting it in motion.
Yeah.
And that shit is like a fucking gift. And I feel like that maybe, like, if we all took that, like, tried it once, it was just like, boom, idea, go, and you start doing it. Because I feel like that's what happens. I mean, even Valente, I feel like you had this idea, but one day you're just like, boom, got it, let's get it, and it ran.
My brain, like, if I don't do it right away, like, I get over it so fast.
Yeah.
So instead of, I think I like go the opposite. Like, instead of waiting for it to be perfect, I'm like, I just gotta get it out. Otherwise, it's gonna be thrown away literally the next day.
Yeah.
Like, even with like photos and stuff, I'm like, nope. Or concepts for music videos. Like, we have so many treatments, but it's like, it's good for like that week of like, you know, and then after I'm like, it's just, no. Yeah.
I mean, also on the topic of David and something in that same, like, piggybacking off of that, is just that there's always a way to make something happen.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because this is kind of a side note, but he's someone, like, he's been homeless at one point. He grew up way harder than I did in a lot of different ways. I grew up in Orange County, a very, like, white privileged place, and working with him, it's just so crazy because he comes from a place in life where he's always kind of had to be more aggressive with what he wants, and he's had to be more creative and, like, kind of, I don't know, compromise. I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's just so crazy to look at my life and the way I was raised and his life and the way he was raised and see how that, like, programming has made us approach our arts in, like, different ways. Like, there'll be times where we're like, one time we were trying to do a photo shoot and I was like, David, this is going to be like $5,000 to do everything we want to do. And he was like, okay, no, like, let's figure out a way to do it without having to, like, put that money in. And I don't know, this conversation I had with him, like, we pulled it off on zero budget, but in my head it had to be this, like, extravagant fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it could have been, like, we could have taken it to the next level, but I don't know.
That's the whole other part of creativity. Like, that, like you just said, like, he had to be creative in the way he navigated. So, like, creativity has all these different
creativity.
Problem solving is creative. So that's so interesting.
So just learning a lot in that way, which has been cool.
That's fire. Well, let's take a little short break, talk to some of our sponsors, or whatever we put in between these things. It might just be
Cool, welcome back. So we have a little question. If you were a cartoon, who would you be and why?
Like, of existing cartoon characters, obviously.
You're like, can I make one up?
Okay, hold on. I gotta think about this for a second. Shoot. I know. This is a tricky question. I think I would be... Can I answer just... oh my gosh, this is hard.
First thing that came to your head.
First thing that came to my head was that Macy is Tina from Bob's Burgers. So it wasn't even about me, it was about her.
That's so funny.
What's the one with the bunny ears?
Louis.
Louise? Maybe you're Louise.
I could be Louise. No, Elise is like... No, maybe I could be Louise. I was gonna say, this is so basic, I feel like, kind of, but SpongeBob, he's just fun.
I love
He's the life of the party. He just...
I was like, you have to be a main character.
He's just very, like, happy. I hope to be like that. I don't know.
That was Max. Didn't Max say something with SpongeBob?
He said he.
Oh yeah.
Max said he was the my leg guy. That just goes
my leg.
Like, just the random pop in.
Yo, that's funny.
And of course, I had this whole, like, existential, like, back reasoning for it, like
You're for him or
no,
for you?
for the my leg guy. I just went so deep with it, and I was like, or you're just fucking saying that. Have we said ours? I think we said ours once. Do you remember what yours was? Because I feel like we always put people on the spot, and I haven't even thought about.
Do you remember what yours was?
Cool.
Think about it. What would yours be?
I feel like I need options.
See, it's hard. There's so many.
It is hard.
Also, I don't watch cartoons like I used to, so
Yeah.
I've gotten out of touch with, like, characters. And
Yeah.
Be like one of the Powerpuff Girls or something.
I was That's kind of where my brain went.
Well,
At.
Yeah.
But which one then? There's 3 options there.
Um,
Buttercup,
Green,
Not buttercup.
green, pink,
Blossom.
Blossom.
or- was she blue?
Pink, right?
Pink.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's my final answer.
No, you'd be Mojo Jojo. He's the monkey in Powerpuff
That's what
Girls.
you would be.
No, I think I'd be BMO
Which
from
one?
Adventure
BMO?
Time.
BMO?
BMO.
I don't know what BMO.
BMO is a little Game Boy guy in Adventure Time.
I can't
And
put
he's
a
really cute.
character to the name.
He looks like a little Game Boy, but
Little
with a
Game Boy?
face. Yeah.
Yo, actually though, if I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Know how cartoon
That's not how it works. We don't
Well,
answer.
today- well, today it is. No, know how cartoon characters always have like one outfit they wear?
Yeah.
What would your outfit be?
Mine would definitely be like a skirt with like high socks and platforms.
Yep.
Because that's my
Just that?
typical.
No top?
No, I'm just kidding. And then probably like some
A Valente.
dope, crop top, maybe a vest, space buns for sure. Yeah.
I see it.
It's kind of like our cover art for this podcast. I like made him put me in certain things. I was like, I have a skirt on. That's just what
I'm probably pretty much wearing like it'd be like a babushka, a
100%.
big baggy space tee, and maybe like cargo,
The
some
long
cargo
sleeve.
pants.
striped shirt or something underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Like full grill, so probably.
Full bust down permanence.
Would you be more tatted than you are now?
Oh yeah, fully tatted,
Fully
my whole
tatted?
body, and one face tat, even if
No.
it makes people uncomfortable.
Do whatever you want.
Face tat of BMO.
Okay, so what's up for the next few months? What you got? Any exciting projects you want to tell people about, or
Ooh.
anything?
Well, Skid Row is putting out a bunch of new product very soon, which is very
That
exciting.
you are designing, right?
Yeah, I've been working with David to put it together. But
And Jell and Maddie are gonna make me a custom shirt for my music video.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
keep an eye
fire.
out.
It'll probably be out by then.
Yeah, go check it out. Theme is in the attic. Is that the best part?
That was
God.
so weird. I'm not even gonna try.
Oh my gosh.
That's how a lady toots.
Yeah.
It's actually just glitter.
Oh, okay. I have a question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Go right away,
Ooh.
off the top of your head. Don't think.
In 10 years, I'm gonna have a brand. I'm gonna be traveling. I don't know where I'm gonna be living, but I'll probably be in New York a lot. That's just what I see.
Bi-coastal.
Yeah. Yes, bi-coastal for sure. I'm gonna be happy first and foremost. I'm gonna be very happy. I don't know. I just think I think by then, I don't know if I continue on this track of self-discovery and peeling back the layers, and I don't know, just trying to get to transcendence, for lack of better terms.
Apex.
I think I'll be in a good place.
Fuck yeah.
Hopefully, maybe be traveling with you guys somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll be
Fuck
playing
yeah.
hide and go seek around the world.
Hey.
That's fire.
Oh, actually, what I'll be in 10 years is out of quarantine,
Yes.
so that's
Hopefully.
exciting.
Tomorrow.
I'm so over it.
Cool. Do you have any questions?
Spaghetti or cereal?
Ooh, spaghetti.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
I like salty over.
So here's a better way for the question. If you had to eat one every day forever, spaghetti or cereal?
Question: Can the spaghetti be like or like one of like the interesting spaghettis, or does it have to be like spaghetti?
Like
Just classic spaghetti.
I mean,
But obviously it could be vegan
no,
for your
probably
dietary.
spaghetti. I like spaghetti a lot.
Wow.
I kind of do.
cereal? Yeah.
I
Think
kinda-
about every day having spaghetti. You would hate it. Cereal, I feel like you could have.
So many. There's such a variety. You can
I
make
said
it with-
no, I didn't. I said spaghetti.
just spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Oh well, then I want to re-answer. No.
But like no sauce, no nothing.
Just,
No, it's classic spaghetti. It'd be spaghetti and meatballs with marinara
I
sauce.
don't eat meatballs though.
No, but vegan meatballs.
Oh, okay.
Vegetarian
Probably
ones.
still spaghetti.
Gross.
Wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Might change my opinion about you fully, but
Oh,
I'm just joking.
Cool.
a good question to end?
No. And last question I have is, what's an advice you'd give somebody that is starting out in any industry, whether it be the fashion industry or just getting into the creative world in LA?
Advice for a person
Yeah.
wiggling their way into the
Yes.
creative space of LA. Stay true to you. A lot of opportunity will probably come your way that doesn't align exactly what your vision is, so find a healthy balance of saying yes to like some of those things, but also keeping time to do your own thing, so you don't get super sucked into not doing your own thing and then feel like you don't even know where to start.
Amen.
So when you have the momentum, keep the momentum.
Yes,
basically.
I love that. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, we're so excited for you. We're so excited for what you're going to be creating. Everyone look out for her. And where can everybody find you?
You can find me, hopefully in Venice soon.
gives a house address. You can buy me a
me
drink.
on Instagram at Madison Jewelinski.
Hinge. Just kidding.
You can find me on Hinge. You can find me on Tinder. Yeah, pretty much just Instagram. Or you can text me. I don't know.
Don't give the number out.
I
I love
stop
it. Madison Jewelinski, go look her up, go follow, go like, subscribe, and thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you guys.
We love you.
I love you guys.
And
so
we'll
much.
see you next week. Just right now.
5,
Bye.
4, 3, 2,
I'm Pseudo.
1.
Angelica.
And this is Space Talk.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.